Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to tonight's concert featuring the musicians of Downshire Brass from Belfast and our very special guest, the acclaimed euphonium soloist David Childs. My name is Michael Alcorn and I'm the musical director of Downshire Brass and your host for this evening. This is a live broadcast, so we can see any comments you make and we can obviously interact with you. But most importantly, this is all about supporting the Northern Ireland Hospice. And there's more coming up on that later on. But first, it's my very great pleasure to invite leading broadcaster and brass band aficionado Frank Renton to introduce tonight's concert.
Hello, I'm Frank Renton, welcoming you to this concert by Downshire Brass. The concert features new pieces and arrangements by members of the band, solos, performances by our youth band, and a special guest appearance by the world-renowned euphonium virtuoso David Childs. It's a culmination of 10 weeks of concerted activity by Downshire Brass during lockdown, and it's in support of the Northern Ireland Hospice. Like so many musicians and performing artists, both professional and amateur, these have been difficult times for our brass bands. As lockdown began, Downshire Brass were full steam ahead with preparations for the challenge section of the European Brass Band Championships in Lithuania. It was all set to be an exciting opportunity for the band, with a newly commissioned own choice work for the contest in a year when the band celebrated its 30th anniversary. With so many banding events cancelled and in turmoil, it's important to encourage the talents and creativity of the members, and to find ways of sustaining playing skills and performing abilities. This has meant learning new skills in audio and video editing and shifting engagements from face-to-face to online. Downshire's response to this has been 9 weekly concerts shared with their friends and families each Saturday evening over the last 2 months. These have featured over 80 performances by senior band members and youth band members, with participants using all these new tools available for online performance. In positioning tonight's concert, Downshire Brass were keen to both share some of their work from the last 2 months and to use it as a platform to raise funds for the hospice, which, like so many organisations, has had significant challenges in recent weeks and months. So sit back and enjoy the musicians of Downshire Brass under the leadership of Michael Alcorn and the magic of David Childs. And please do visit the band's Just Giving webpage and give generously for the Northern Ireland Hospice. Thank you.
Many thanks to Frank for that introduction to our concert. And I know we're all feeling the impact of lockdown over the last few months, and we all share the hope that we get back to some proper banding very soon. In terms of tonight's concert, we have a great show lined up, so let's get cracking with a fantastic arrangement of Kyle McCorkindale's Weather Report number Birdland. In a version for 4 multi-track trombones and drum machine, please welcome the band's youngest and most versatile player, Peter Alcorn. Thanks, Peter, for that performance, and what a super piece. And before any of our other young players in the band get upset, of course, Peter is not the youngest of our young players in the band. As you know, tonight's concert is a chance for us to share some of our music making over the last number of months. We would normally have our summer concert around about now, an event which is shared with our wonderful youth band. Tonight, well, it's also about fundraising for the Northern Ireland Hospice, and it would be wonderful if you could make a donation via the Just Giving link, which is on this Facebook page and on our website. We've already gone some way towards our target in the days before tonight's concert, and we really want you to help us smash that target this evening. So please, please keep the live stream running and make a donation on another device. Well, next up is a beautiful solo from a collection of Salvation Army pieces published in the United States. All of these, both the solo parts and the professionally recorded accompaniments, are available, and you'll find there are several of these pieces from this collection in tonight's concert. The first one will be performed by Ellen Mullen, one of the band's solo cornet players. In talking to Ellen about this, we had a giggle in the very early days of social distancing about the title of the piece, which is called Breathe on Me, or we changed it to Don't Breathe on Me. Still, it's a wonderful piece and a wonderful arrangement by Gavin Whitehouse. Please welcome Ellen Mullen. Thank you, Ellen, for that lovely performance. Well, for those of you living outside Northern Ireland who are listening or watching, you might like to know a little bit about Downshire Brass. Downshire Brass was formed in 1990 through the amalgamation of the Reed Memorial Silver Band and the Hillsborough Silver Band, two of the oldest brass bands in Ireland at that time. Downshire Brass is based in Belfast and performs concerts regularly throughout the year with a full championship section brass band, but also smaller groups and ensembles. As Frank mentioned, the band represented Northern Ireland in the European Brass Band Championships in Freiburg in 2015. And before COVID-19 restrictions, we were due to be travelling to Palanga to participate in the 2020 championships. Well, instead we've put our efforts into preparing for tonight's concert and other online events. When I first had the idea of this concert, I immediately thought about approaching tonight's guest soloist. He gladly obliged and has been extremely kind and helpful in preparing for tonight. He is, of course, David Childs, regarded as one of the finest brass musicians of his generation, having performed with leading orchestras, commissioned and performed new works, and on top of that, since 2018, has been the Professor of Euphonium at the University of North Texas. His first piece tonight is a great number, originally written for violin by Paul Nero. This is the wonderfully perky Hot Canary. Thanks, David, and wonderful playing from both you and from Chris Williams on piano. Our next piece was one of the first ones that I selected for tonight's concert, and work on this started in earnest back during full lockdown in April. As well as preparing their parts for the overall multi-track recording, everyone was asked to provide a photo as a memory from their time during lockdown. That collection has been used as part of the backdrop for John Ireland's beautiful hymn, Love Unknown.
The impact of COVID-19 on Northern Ireland Hospice and Children's Hospice is serious. Hospice is a place close to my heart. I'm proud to be an ambassador, and in fact, I've never been prouder of that honour. During this crisis, just like every other day, the nurses, doctors, housekeepers and the staff at Northern Ireland Hospice continue to support patients and families during the most difficult times. But we're in a different time now, and whilst the care and passion continues, the vital income that the hospice needs has stopped. So today I'm asking you for your support, because Northern Ireland Hospice needs your help now more than ever. Here's the reality. Without the funds from our community, Northern Ireland Hospice can't carry on. It will have to stop its vital services, and we cannot let that happen. Please take a moment to listen to June's story and donate whatever you can to help the hospice. June died in the Northern Ireland Hospice on Monday the 23rd of March. She was a true inspiration, and even at this very difficult time for her family, they want to share her words as part of her legacy. Hospice urgently needs your donations now more than ever, so please, please, please give what you can.
So that little video points out the urgency of us supporting the Northern Ireland Hospice. I'd recommend that you listen to June's story and the rest of that little video on the Hospice's YouTube's channel. Our next performer is principal baritone player Gary Dodsworth, someone who's often featured as a soloist with the band. And during lockdown, Gary has been working up this wonderful piece by Peter Graham called The Holy Well. Please welcome Gary Dodsworth. Well done, Gary. And as you'll see, it's not just the senior band that have been working on socially distanced performances. Our youth band have been busy providing solos for our private concerts for friends and family, and also helping make some of these full band works. Our next performer is part of our bass section. His versatility in the low register includes playing the bass guitar as well as E-flat tuba. He's a talented composer and arranger and sound designer and engineer. All those skills have come together in this super arrangement of the Beatles number Golden Slumbers. Great work, Mike, and thanks to all the musicians who helped you realise that piece. Well, we heard from one of our two baritone players earlier on, and it's now time to hear from our other baritone player, Reggie Glover, someone who has really thrown himself into solos and playing during lockdown. Reggie's going to perform a lovely little piece, again from that collection of Salvation Army pieces that I mentioned earlier. This is William Himes' All That I Am. Many thanks, Reggie. Fantastic playing. And still to come this evening, we have 2 more solos from David Childs, including a very special version of Benedictus. So please keep listening. But next up, we have our amazing bass trombone player, Paul Wilson, with this fabulous piece by David Brubeck, dedicated to George Roberts. This is Stereogram number 3. Beautiful playing there from Paul Wilson on bass trombone. Well, we've all become super whiz kids at streaming, zooming, uploading, downloading videos and audio files, and nearly all of our band members have really embraced this new online environment. Our next player took it to the max in terms of overdubbing, with his own version of William Hime's Amazing Grace, playing all the parts. Please welcome Graham Smith. Thanks, Graham, and it's good to see you practicing some social distancing on the screen. We're just checking in on our Just Giving total, and it's now standing at £550. We're at kind of a third of the way for our target of what we're hoping to achieve for this event. So if you haven't done so already, please make a donation. Well, it's time for another solo by David Childs with his accompanist Chris Williams. And this is an evergreen work that never ceases to impress. This is The Carnival of Venice. Wow, amazing. Stunning playing there from David Childs. And you'll not want to miss Benedictus, which is coming up very shortly. Last week, our principal cornet player, Hannah Copes, became Hannah Calderwood when she married Ian in a lovely ceremony in their garden of their new home. Hannah had pre-recorded the following piece for the signing of the register. Here's Hannah Calderwood, performing Love Cannot Fail. Lovely playing there from Hannah in Love Cannot Fail. And then we dive straight into a lightning fast performance by Johnny Spruill, our principal euphonium player of The Stars and Stripes Forever. Amazing stuff, Johnny, on all those parts, including the piccolo part. Our final soloist this evening, like Mike Wan, has jumped full into production, playing trumpet, keyboard, samplers. This is Tom Alcorn's arrangement of I Wish by Tom Misch. Well done, Tom. A nice piece and a nice arrangement. And so we come to our final piece from David Childs. It's one which has become incredibly well known by soloists and band members alike. It's, of course, the piece Benedictus, which David will be performing with members of Downshire Brass.
Good evening, and thank you to everyone who has watched and taken part in our end of year online concert. My name is Robert Mercer, and I am honoured to be the chairman of Downshire Brass. Downshire Brass is a large family of people who come together from near and far to make music together. From our youth band, conducted by Roger Doherty, our 10-piece brass ensemble, our Ulster Rugby band, our Christmas carolers, and of course, our senior band under the baton of Michael Alcorn. Our concert tonight featured two friends of Downshire Brass, Frank Renton, who introduced our concert, and the renowned virtuoso euphonium soloist David Childs. Tonight's concert showcased a variety of specially prepared solos, ensembles and full band pieces, all recorded during this period of lockdown. But tonight was not just about making music. Tonight we are raising funds for the Northern Ireland Hospice, an organisation which has done so much to support patients and their families during the COVID-19 pandemic. A dedicated Just Giving page has already been set up, and if you wish to make a donation to the hospice, full details are available on the Downshire Brass website. As always, there are thank yous to be acknowledged at concerts, and tonight is no difference. I would like to thank Frank Renton and David Childs, who have given us their time, their support and their talents. I would also like to thank all members of Downshire Brass for their support in preparing, practicing and recording music for our concert tonight. Special thanks must go to Michael Alcorn, our musical director. If it was not for his ambition, dedication, commitment and technological wizardry, tonight's online concert would not have happened. I would like to finish by giving a line from the Swedish supergroup ABBA and say to everyone who has participated and took part in tonight's concert, thank you for the music.
Well, thank you, Robert, for that, and all my thanks to you for all the work you do as chair of the band. I'd also like to say a massive thank you to Michael Keelty and to Ryan Quinn, both of whom helped with some of the pieces tonight on percussion and piano. Can I also add my own special thanks to David Childs and to Frank Renton, and a special mention for Frank's new podcast called Renton on Brass. Well, the tally we've got at the minute has come in at £700, so thanks to everybody who's been contributing. Obviously in the days ahead, there's still a chance for you to contribute to the Northern Ireland Hospice through our Just Giving page. Well, our last piece is one which we've played out on many occasions, and it never fails to get people singing. We put out a call for this one a few days ago, well, a week ago, and we've tried to include everyone who's responded with their little piece of singing. You can well imagine that mixing together 40 different video streams at once is quite complicated. Well, hopefully you'll enjoy it, and hopefully it will give you a sort of cheery end to this concert. And please, if you haven't done so already, think about that contribution to the hospice. Once again, thank you for tuning in and listening to this concert, and I hope to see you all very soon.